Hey, Beth Standlee here. Welcome to Think Tank Thursday. We started Think Tank back in, June of 2019, because we thought then and we think now that it's so important that you get out of the frenzy of busy all the time and just take a minute to think about things. And so y'all get me today. Much of the time you've got Candy Kelly interviewing a customer, a special guest, or even one of our sponsors. And I just wanted to give a shout out to our Think Tank sponsors this year: Simnox, Redemption Plus, Roller Software, Betts, and Delta Strikes. Thank you all so much for your continued partnership and loyalty and sharing your great ideas, and working hard together with our mutual customers, current and those are past and those that are to be. So listen, let me tell you what I'm thinking about today. It is mid-January. I try to think about the month in 10-day chunks. And I'll talk to you more about that in just a second. But I wanted to talk about what I've noticed and then just ask you if you've noticed the same thing. It feels like everything is building. We took the holidays and many of you were busy with your business, with families. And then even just the first 10 days of the month felt like, oh, right. I know I've had a couple of really, really good, quiet weeks at home, kind of preparing for, I said the calm before the storm. I think I'm traveling for many, many days in a row, not sleeping at home too much. And that's okay. That's what we like to do. And so if the first 10 days, for instance, were kind of rest and relaxation, did you also do things like make resolutions, or I like to think of a New Year's resolution, because most people break them by about, I don't know, the 10th, and as a promises that I make to myself. And do I break them already? Yes. One is that I would not binge a show, and I have, and it's a terrible waste of time. And listen, if I'm thinking about things in 10-day chunks, if I broke my resolution, if I broke my promise in those 10 days, no biggie. I've got the next 10 days to go, right? And then I've got the third 10 days. I know some months give us one extra day, and some months short us as well. But it's funny. I don't know. I've always liked the whole 10-day way to think about the month. We look at our business in week to week segments, but there's something bigger, maybe more strategic, when I think about it in 10-day chunks. And the deadline is like 1/3. Now I'm 2/3 in. Now this is it. I'm in the home stretch, and I do try to do that on a month-to-month basis. I hope that's a helpful tip to you, and love to have some conversation around why I think it works so well. It's funny, as I was thinking about this, I thought, well, is that because, do I do 10 days because I've been such a bowler all my life and everything's in 10 frames? And you can have kind of a bad start and think, okay, I've got 8 frames to go, or whatever. And I don't know how many times I've said, oh gosh, I'm running out of game. And there's just something a little bit magical about those 10, the way to think about it, those 10 days. And so I'd love your feedback. I'd love to hear if this is something you might try in the coming. Well, you've got the middle 10-day section of January and the last 10-day section. One of the things we have going on in February is on the first Thursday of the month, we have a webinar It'll be in the Think Tank space. We'll have a webinar instead of Think Tank on that Thursday. And it's all about how to eliminate your own limiting beliefs. So, I think it's real easy sometimes, especially like the first 10 days, we were calling people, trying to follow up. I know many of you have got plans that you're trying to make, even post IAPA. IAPA is at such a funny time of year because it's right before Thanksgiving. Everybody's doing massive business during the holidays. And then we've got that piece. So if you're people like Turn Entertainment and even some of our sponsors, and we're calling you guys and saying, hey, are you ready to get started with your coaching program? We could talk ourselves into, oh, they're not interested, because it's been hard to get people on the phone. But folks didn't come back to work till the 3rd. Some people didn't come back until this week. They took these 2 weeks to rest and rejuvenate. And by the way, I think rest and rejuvenation is important. I think if you don't take the time to get your gas tank filled back up, it's easy to run out of steam. So that's how come I think sometimes a week might be a little bit too short, but like things in 10-day groups. And I think what it does, one of the things that it does for me is it helps me to reset. So if I broke my promise, if I didn't do everything I thought I was going to do, well, then that reset in that next 10-day period is very, very helpful. So anyway, don't make up any stories about what you can do and what you can't do, and that the month got away from you, because there's always a new 10 days. And if you want to work on eliminating some of those limiting beliefs, I hope you'll join us. You can go to our website and sign up for the webinar the first Thursday of the month. Thank y'all for joining us for Think Tank. I hope you're thinking about good things. I hope you're trying to get away from the frenzy of busy. I know if Candy was interviewing me, she would ask me, what's the last thing I've read, or what do I do to try to keep learning every day? And I have to tell you, I'm so excited. I read, I think all of Michael Michalowicz's works except the Toilet Paper Entrepreneur, all through Q4, did all of that work, and it really helped my head to get ready for annual planning for our own company. And I've got lots of annual plannings coming up with companies that we serve, and it's just fantastic. So the Clockwork, Pumpkin Plan Your Business. Candy laughed at me because she thought that sounded like pumpkin, plan your business, like I was just being Southern, but that's not what it is. Pumpkin Plan Your Business, Profit First, which I read a long time ago, and employ those strategies in our business. I credit him with us have enough money to make it through the crisis of the pandemic and everything. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. All of Michael Michalowicz's work, he's really fun to listen to. He's funny. Yeah. And a little sneak peek, I'm working on my second book. So I'm doing good work there, spending good time each week doing that. So, okay, there you go. Thanks. We'll see you next week on Think Tank. Keep thinking. Send in a note if you want to come be a guest, if you've got some stuff you'd like to share. Thanks.